So, Anthony, when can we start?
5 minutes ago, Nick. We're live.
Oh, are we? Okay. Didn't realise that. Okay. As I would normally say, welcome to our, this is the, I say it every week, 17th last week, it's the 18th edition. Okay. And before we start, I've always got to make the announcement. New regulations, if you don't want to be video, because obviously we're recording this, we have to ask you to leave. Good, got that out of the way. And I put a post out tonight about the insurance industry. And I was in that industry for a little while. One of the things that I've learned over the last 8 years, what I thought would be really easy became really hard work. I thought, tie in with a broker, look after the members, give them a good service. Oh, how was I wrong? We've used probably 4 or 5 insurance companies, brokers, as it were, and they've never kind of been straight with us and our members in the way that I wanted them to be looked after. So 2 years ago, we met yourselves, and you've just had a name change, so I'll only use that name, Protect My Let, which I think is really, really a good name. We've been working closely together for 2 years, and you came to us and said, look, what do you want? So I said, I wanted this kind of policy, 90-day cover for empty property cover. I wanted accidental damage. I want legal cover on it, chase tenants that, and when you put that kind of policy together for us. And one of the things was that you did it because I said, I don't want to be the cheapest in the market. And then we got members coming back to us and saying, Nick, you're way out. Or some people said, oh, it's a really good price. Some people saying, and it was all to do with like the postcode. And I thought that one good policy would cover everybody. And what we've really learned over the last 2 years in our journey, Kevin, is, and it's my fault, I take full responsibility, because you really said you don't want to go this route. And I kept pushing you down it. And it worked, but it didn't work as good as we wanted it to work.
Right.
So what you've come back with, and we've had plenty of meetings, is that you want to open it up to more of a panel, have more insurance companies on.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm not going to steal your thunder. And the reason why the insurance kind of arm of LMPG didn't work was my fault. There was no one else involved in this yet. This time, the last 2 years, it was my fault because I wanted an all singing, all dancing policy. And it's an education. And all I'm going to say is over to you, Kevin. And thank you very much for coming on tonight.
No problem at all. Happy to be here. Pleasure. So, yeah, I mean, you were talking about opening up the panel to these new insurers. And it was something that we were saying we weren't keen on doing, 100% sure we wanted to go that route. We're glad we did. It's been proven since we brought those insurers on, we're now picking up that business from your members that wanted help in a little bit more of a basic way. They wanted to tailor the policy to what they wanted. So we're picking up, 1 in 3, sometimes 1 in 2, depending on the month, of those policies now. Aviva being a big one. Some of your members will have just come on cover with us recently, and they'll find they've been put with an Aviva policy because they're doing well.
So who are the insurance companies that have we got on at the moment?
So the insurance companies are all names you would have heard of most of them. So we've got Aviva, Allianz, Zurich, and then Amlin, which probably most of your members over the past couple of years had their policy with, a comprehensive policy, but some people were finding it was expensive for those who didn't want that all singing, all dancing cover. And also Plum as well. Some of you will find your policies are with Plum. They're very flexible with kind of short-term and more unusual types of risks. So we feel we've got it covered a lot more now. We can help your members, a lot better than we could before.
Okay, because the market changes, and one of the things that I've noticed in the marketplace with my own houses is that when an insurance company wants to open their book, I call it open their book. That's how I was always taught. I know it. That what they do is they drive the premium down, they get an influx of business, and then when they think, okay, our book's now full, they put the price back up.
Yep.
And that's where they get hit the second year.
That's right. Yeah, they call that burning the book. So they'll stack policies high, they'll sell them cheap, and then the following year they'll aim for another type of business. Now, obviously, us at Protect My Let, we're not that kind of company. We're not that sort of broker. Let property business is all we do. That's our speciality. That's what we live and breathe every day. So you won't find our premiums going massively up and massively down year on year. What you'll get from us on year one will stay like that year on year, provided your risk doesn't change. And that's a good reason to go with us. We know what we're talking about in that lettings market.
Okay, that's really good. But let's say, for whatever reason, somebody was really coming good into the marketplace and they kind of made a commitment that they would keep that kind of price. Mm-hmm. And we need to bring in, I don't know, NIG for a particular marketplace, a particular product that they launch. Can we go and get them?
We have insurers as a broker. We're part of a bigger insurance broker called Aston Lark. They've got a lot of partnerships with a lot of different insurers, and all it takes is for us to see that we need to expand the market or need to look at other people, and we'll talk to them. You know, we're friends with a lot of insurers in the industry, and it's certainly a possibility, and it's not something that will take too long. Can't put an exact time on it, but you know, if it's needed, we are constantly looking to see if it is needed, and we will do that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Good. Yeah, because your boss says we can turn a tap on within a week if we need to.
Yep, he does say that.
And he's on here listening to this.
He is.
I'm going to hold him to that because I'll send him this recording. So have you found a bigger uptake then because I know some members just want a cheap policy, they want to get in, they might have 10 properties, and if it's an extra £100, that's £1,000 a year that's not going into their pocket, and tight. So that makes a big kind of decision whether they go with that one or that one.
It does, yeah, absolutely. Two things we'll say. When people are looking for a cheap policy, they go for that cheap because they want to save that money. They may have never made an insurance claim in their life. When they do need the insurance, when something happens, something unforeseen, something that they never saw coming, didn't think was going to happen in a million years, and then they go to use that insurance, they might find that they come unstuck. When you pay for cheap, more often than not, you get cheap. You get cheap service.
I don't want to be the cheapest because that's where we'll get criticised. Because when you make a claim, and I don't know, I know you've got a presentation to start with, but one of the things I really want to drive home as well, if I make a claim against the policy that you've sold me or advised me to take, who looks after me? Do I have to go to the insurance company? Because that's a nightmare sometimes. Where do I go?
You come to us. We're there for your members, okay? In the first instance, if you've got a problem, you don't know who to turn to, you don't know where to go. I mean, there are numbers in your policy books and your documents, but we're there. It's one of the benefits of using a broker for your insurance. You've got them there they've got your back. So you can contact us, email us or phone us. We'll guide you through the process if you're not sure what to do. And in most cases, we'll notify the claims team and get the claim set up for you. And then they will come back to you with any extra information they need. And the bottom line as well is you're not on your own through that process. We will keep an eye on it. We'll intervene if necessary, on the rare occasion we need to. And we're there with you through the process. It's not just here's a number, phone that. We're not like that.
I know somebody that was really struggling, and Dean and yourself got involved in it, and it did get sorted out. It did get, you weren't happy with what the insurance company was doing, and you stepped in. No. And you dealt with it. And I know the member was really, really pleased with your efforts, what you and Dean did.
That's right.
I'm going to shut up now, because as we go through the presentation, we can always ask questions, and it's not for me, it's for members. A couple of things I just wanted to drive home was about the service you give. You're there to support them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Insurance company. So I'll shut up and you go ahead.
Okay, sure. Anthony, there's a couple of the slides that we've got. One of them is the benefit of using us against the comparison site. There's some quite interesting comparisons on there. If you want to put that up.
Yeah, hold on. I've absolutely messed this one up this time.
That's all right.
The nerves, Kevin. Come on. Here we go. Screen 2. That's more like it.
Okay, so the a bit further down, slide 6. This is all centered around you're getting a bit of a preview here as well of our new brand identity, something we've been spending a lot of time on. It's been going on in the background. We're investing a lot of time in this to really drive home that message that we go that extra mile, that we're there for you. We're not just we're not a faceless company. We're not somewhere that you buy something off the internet, a pre-packaged product, and you're left to deal with it. So you can see here, part of the message is, go off script. We go off script for you. We go that extra mile. We listen to what you want, and then we'll come back to you with what you want, or the best we can get it. So some of the benefits you can see here, the bottom 2, for example, we can give, as we're specialists in the let market, we can give you advice and recommend things. We'll do all the legwork for you, all the administration. If you go to a comparison site, for instance, that's all on you. You're putting the information in, you're checking it, you're making sure it meets your needs. Okay, might be slightly cheaper, but you're not getting that service, you're not getting that advice. We are, to handle your account on the day-to-day basis, we don't like using call centers. So if you call us up, you will speak to one of the team. One of the there's another slide here, Anthony, just with our lovely faces on, and we've each got direct phone numbers. You can get through to our direct line. If you have if you need a quote, you've got myself and Lola, who you'll speak to first of all, who some of you might have experienced, and then you get assigned an account handler for afterwards. We're all a very close team as well, so you're not shipped off to another department once you're with us. We all speak to each other daily, regularly, and you've got your own specific account handler with their own phone number. So this is a you're getting a peek now of our new brand image, okay, and it's a lot more personal than it ever has been.
So you are the ones, these people in front of me I'm looking at are the ones that look after us now.
Absolutely, yeah. These people, this is the team, okay. So you've got Nat, who oversees us on a day-to-day basis. Lola and me, Kevin, we're who you speak to if you've never been with the company before. You've come to us. You want us to check out your renewal. You've got a new property you want us to quote you on. We're who you'll speak to, one of us. And then Will, Matt, and Nick, they're the account handlers who will handle your policy after that. So if you do have a claim, you need some advice, you'll call them. If when your renewal comes up, they will handle your renewal. They'll check everything through with it and offer it to you, and be there on the end of the phone if you need to query it.
A lot of people, Kevin, I know this, so I'm just going to gear you up to it, this 1 for 6. I hear this all the time when we see other brokers want to say, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that, we do that. You said that you're going to be on the end of the phone.
Yep.
Yeah. You are going to be on the end of the phone.
Yes, we are. Absolutely. So with during the day, if you'll have one of us, like me or Lola, you'll have one of us available for you. And if we're not available, it'll only be for a short while. And somebody will pick up that phone to you. You won't be left on hold. It's a direct line, no recorded message. We're there.
Okay, good.
So yeah, that's right, Nick.
Good.
We do that.
And just for members, if they ring up and say, "Let me check to see if they're there," yeah, don't accept that because they sit opposite each other. So he's eating a sandwich. I don't care if he's eating a sandwich.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
just
absolutely.
A pet hate of mine. Don't say that. I'll see if she's in. She's sitting opposite you.
Yeah, it's a little bit different now, Nick, as well, because we're working from home, so we do need to have a look at our our list. But we're all working from home. We've been very productive working from home, actually. And
is that a long-term thing?
No plans to change it as yet. It's going well.
Okay, good. Excellent.
And again, this fits with our kind of off-script brand. You know, we're not tied. Our contracted hours are 9 to 5, but we're not tied to that. We're flexible around it if we need to speak to people.
Good question comes up. Will you work outside your normal working hours for members if you need to?
Yes, and we do.
Okay. Now, if you're on the phone and Nicole, sorry, what's her name? New handler.
Do you mean Lola?
Lola, sorry, Lola. Because she's new. I dealt with somebody else. If you're both on the phone, what happens to my phone call?
Your phone call will be picked up by Will, Matt, or Nick, and they will send us an immediate message to call you back as soon as we're free.
It loops then to somebody else.
It loops over to the other guys. Like I said, we're a close team. We talk all the time regularly. Yeah.
Okay. Carry on. Sorry.
I mean, is there anything else you want to know, Nick, about any other questions that you think members might have? Do members have any questions?
I have a question earlier on, and I think you may go into it later on, but since it's here, good evening, everyone. Just to preempt a question that may be on everyone's mind, can Kevin give us an update due to COVID-19 on rent protection cover?
Yes, I can. Right. So I'll kind of start from the beginning. In March, when the national hard lockdown was announced, we were getting a lot of inquiries about tenants not paying rent and what do they do? Rent guarantee cover, is it going to hold up for what I need? Now, as the law changed, meaning that landlords couldn't effect evictions, the rent guarantee policies that were offered by our insurers, our legal providers, were withdrawn, right? And that wasn't because they were worried about making claims, about claims being made and paying out a lot of money. That was because those types of policies are only effective when you are serving an eviction notice. And since that couldn't be done, then they would effectively be mis-selling that to you. Now, during the lockdown, during the year, we have heard there are a few companies offering policies still. Now, we urge anybody who is offered a policy to check it and check it thoroughly. Reason for that being, the chances are it will be very restrictive. At the moment, there is a notice period on tenancy evictions. You might find that you won't be able to claim for quite a long time, and when you do, you'll only be paid a month or two's rent, effectively for an annual premium you've paid for it. One of your members, quite an early member who signed up with us a couple of years ago, was offered a policy recently, and she sent it across to me for some advice. And yeah, it turned out exactly that. She wouldn't be able to claim on that until April 2021, and that is if, assuming she claims on it straight away when she takes it out. So, I've obviously said to her that do you want to be paying an annual premium for that? And she really appreciated that advice. Again, this is why we're here, Nick. It's not just for selling policies. It's for giving advice to your members as well, and we want them to use us for that advice.
Good, thank you.
I've got another question that's come in on Facebook just now.
Sure.
Hi, Kevin. I've spoken to you many times and you've arranged cover for several of our properties. Thank you. I was surprised to receive a call from Lola last month inviting me to take out a policy with you. I was initially confused by her call, but just wonder, does that mean she would now be our account holder?
Right. Well, I mean, this is a case I'll probably have to look into. If you got a call from one of us, the chances are that could be because we have a team, we have a special team that call your members when they either join or renew their policies. And that's just to engage with them, see if we can help, see if we can find out when their renewals are and help them. So chances are that has come through from one of those calls. And then we've phoned that number and then it's turned out that they're already actually insured with us. So it's nothing to be alarmed about. I mean, if you want to send us a message outside of this this presentation, we'll certainly look into it. But it's very rare that happens. But when it does, it's it's nothing to worry about. It's us being on top of the engagement that we're trying to get with your members.
That's fine. Yeah, because when people renew, we put one of your pamphlets in there to introduce yourself to them. Yes.
Great. Yep. That's good.
Okay.
Useful.
Good. Oh, I'm going to ask a question. Is there a presentation we start at the beginning, or is it just as we go through this?
Yeah, I mean, it's as we go through and questions come up, Nick. The slides on the presentation are you know, previewing our new brand, really,
okay, well,
and our message. Yeah, absolutely. Go through them, Anthony. You've seen us as well. Another point, actually, coming up on here, working with us to reach your goal. Something that we ask of your members as well is to just be forthcoming with the information. Give us as much as you can. Trust us. Tell us what you need. Be quite stark about it, and we'll go away and look into that for you. Wanted to sort of bust a little bit of a myth as well about insurance brokers or insurance companies, that the reason when we ask you what your best quote is or what your current renewal premium is, that is so that we have a goal to work towards. That isn't so that we can find a quote that's way cheaper and then put a charge on top of it, a little fee for ourselves. That's not something that we do. It's something that companies may or may not have used to do in the 80s, but the insurance industry is heavily regulated now, so it's not something we can do. Reason we ask for your current premium is so that we can work more effectively to get you something you need, save you time as well. If we can't, you know, if we actually can't help you, it will save us both time if we can.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like people, it's like a total distrust. And I would be exactly the same as the members. I ain't going to tell you a price because all you're going to do is come in underneath it.
Yeah. And that's why we want to bust that myth. It's not something that we do. It's not something that can be done anymore. You know, for reputable insurance companies and brokers in the industry, can't do it anymore. It's so tightly regulated, not like the 80s. So we do it to work to your goal. We do it to work proactively and save everybody time.
Yeah. Okay. I know. I understand that.
Yeah.
But from a movement of premium, I understand why the members don't want to tell you.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't want to tell when I do my car insurance. I don't want to tell them my premium because I want to see where their best rate is. Okay.
If you want to see where their best rate is, okay. I mean, what's part of the questions we will ask a member as well when they get a quote from us or when they need our assistance is, what are they aiming for? If they are aiming for a better premium, there's absolutely no, you know, thinking of that myth busting in mind, there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't tell us. We'll tell you straight away if we can, or if you've got a good deal, we'll be honest. We'll say that is a really, really good deal. You know, you might expect it to go up in future, but that is a really good deal. We just
you did that with me. You did that with me. So I can stand, but I can actually honestly say I gave them my premium, and you went, Nick, don't even look anywhere else. Stay where you are.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. And we'll do that. You know, there's absolutely no benefit in giving you a quote that's of no use to you. So that's the reason we ask.
Okay, good.
Any other questions from anyone? Or
yeah, I've got a couple actually. I was just seeing if there was anything of value in the presentation. It's just a lot of lovely headshots.
That's right. These are kind of our images now. This is our message.
I'll leave it on you for a second, and I will ask you a couple of questions that come in. So, from Facebook now, can you provide cover for properties let out to social housing tenants?
Yes, we can. Yeah, we've worked hard to get some extra insurers so that we have more options with that as well. But there are no tenant types at the moment that we cannot offer insurance for. Okay.
I got my beef about this one.
Okay.
Is if you're asking the question, are they a DSS tenant or are they on benefits? I would say most of people who are renting are getting some kind of assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're on £22,000 a year, you get assistance.
Yep.
Yeah. So are you classing, if anybody gets any benefit from any sector of the government, that is a benefit person?
No. The clients that are or tenants rather that are classed as benefit tenants, or used to call them DSS, didn't we? Now it's universal credit. That is where their rent is being paid in full by universal credit. Okay, that's slightly different.
How about if it's only topped up by universal credit?
Topped up by universal credit, we class as a working tenant. If they work 16 hours a week or more, is the kind of general consensus. Then they're classed as a working tenant.
Okay. All right. Good. I want to ask that question.
Yeah. It's
myth about that.
Yeah. Again, and any kind of insurance company that doesn't ask those questions about what tenants you are, you might have to ask yourself the question. You know, have you got the correct policy as well?
If the tenant type changes halfway through.
If the tenant type changes halfway through, you know, as a policy holder, it is your duty to tell us of any changes. The changes may not necessarily need to take effect until the renewal date. Depending on the tenant type, depending on the sort of property it is, it may need changing there and then. There's no one answer fits all to that. It's something that you need to advise us as soon as you can, and we'll take the best course of action for you, or give you the best advice.
All right. How about serviced accommodation?
Serviced accommodation is, again, something that a lot of, especially over the past couple of years, a lot of your members have come forward with serviced accommodation because of the high yield. So yeah, we have policy for that as well. It's a slightly different policy to the longer term lets one, but we have providers for both. And again, you know, we'll do that work for you. Don't see it as a barrier or something that's going to be difficult to do midway through a policy. We'll sort that out for you. We'll tell you the best course of action.
Good. How about HMOs?
HMOs as well. The HMO, I think probably about a year ago, when HMO, I mean, again, your members started doing a lot more HMOs. The market was quite niche for HMOs, and the policies that we had were expensive. They were robust, they were good policies, but expensive. A benefit of having these new insurers on board as well is that they're more than happy with these HMO policies. Whatever the tenants that are in there, we again have a provider for them.
Good.
So it's a kind of yes to all situation, Nick, for these tenant types. We've got solutions, and we'll try our best to get them for you.
How about my own house?
Your own house, as I said, we're part of a larger broker, Aston Lark. Yeah. They have a specialist household division. So if you have other other policies that don't quite fit the landlord market, we've got colleagues that will be able to help you, and we'll put you through to them. And we'll always introduce you as members of LMPG to them, and they'll know how to treat your members. Yeah.
Okay. He goes quiet with Kevin, didn't it? He goes, "I'll ask question." You go quiet, Kevin.
I've been trying to speak, and I've realised I'm muted. Do your new policies cover for terrorism and illegal activity, i.e., cannabis factories?
Okay. Some do, and some don't. All right. If you require those covers, this is the cannabis factories, the illegal activities. There were some policies before that didn't cover it, that said they wouldn't cover it for it. Some of the newer policies we do have that cover, provided that you have told us if your property is unoccupied, and it's if it's happened when it's unoccupied and it's geared up for that. So the answer is yes and no. We have some that do and some that don't. Again, each individual case, our relationship with our underwriters is good, and it's something that we can try and get from them if they don't have it. But they take the pragmatic approach.
But if I'm renting a house, and this happened to Paul, if you rent a house out, and they're paying their rent, and you go there, and you've been there for 6 months, and in that 6 months, they've turned your place into a factory, cannabis factory. Is there insurance companies in their policy say we're not covering you?
No, not necessarily. It's when properties are. It's more when properties are unoccupied or they're empty.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have cover for things like malicious damage and illegal activities. There was a bit of a grey area about it before, but when it's occupied and you're carrying out your obligations as a landlord, getting inspections done, letting agents are inspecting it, it's being managed properly, there's no reason that those sort of claims would not be covered.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about if you're within your policy parameters. When properties are unoccupied for long periods of time, as you probably know, the cover can be quite restrictive, and that's when those illegal activities cannot be covered. Because you're supposed to be inspecting it a lot. Yeah,
I totally get that. The other question I was going to ask you: if I've got like 2 houses at the moment, and do you do like a block policy, and then I buy another 2? Can I add them to that policy, or are they all going to be individual policies?
Yeah, we try and put them together where we can. Yeah, if they're all of similar. If they're all similar tenant types, then they can go onto one policy. We'll add those properties to the original policy as they come up. You pay a pro rata premium on them, and then you get a full annual renewal for the lot. And it's cheaper doing it that way as well. Discounts are often better, or we have more flexibility on those premiums. So yeah, portfolio landlords, we'll look at doing the whole lot for you. And if one doesn't quite fit the mold, it's still something we can do. The underwriters will accommodate for those. So yeah, portfolios, we'll put them all on one, and it cuts down your admin.
And you have direct access to the underwriters if something's a bit left or a bit right of centre where they want you to be.
Yes, we do. Yeah, the insurers. Yeah, we have direct lines for the insurers. They're all very helpful. Like I say, they're partner insurers of Aston Lark, our brokers. So they know us. We've got to know them over time as well. The new insurers, we're getting to know more every day. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. Any other questions?
Yeah, quite a few have come in now. So in terms of one property and adding others, if the policy is good, I think you've just gone over that. I don't know if that was intentional, Nick, or if that was a coincidence, but you almost said it word for word.
Well,
in the current climate, I have 4 professional tenants in my HMO. If a tenant has been made furloughed or made redundant through no fault of their own, does your insurance cover rental recoveries?
Okay. Again, rental recovery. This is in the current climate. This is another issue with the COVID thing. Okay. Rent guarantee policies that you already have may work. You'll need to check the small print in them. No new policies again are available for rent guarantee cover. Rent recovery, is still included on policies. All right. So where you're serving an eviction notice, or somebody has fallen on hard times, as you say, and can't pay their rent, if you've got a notice, if you want to serve an eviction notice on them or give notice for them, you still have legal cover on your policy. It may not work depending on what your policy has, but it is still something that has not been withdrawn by the underwriters. So legal costs for rent recovery itself, and serving an eviction notice is still cover that is included. Each case will have its own, we'll have to look at each case individually to see what the circumstances are, but it is still available. Just guaranteed rent isn't currently available.
Okay, thank you. Got another member here saying that he's had a nasty experience with Cannabis House in the past, and the insurance company that didn't want to honour its obligation for a loss assessor costing at £2,500. So I think that just really drives the point home that you need to know.
I mean, one of the things I always say, you find out how good your insurance company is when you make a claim.
That's right.
Yeah, some can be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, some look for ways of getting out of claims as a first port of call. That's, again, it's not how we do things. We're fighting your corner here. Provided it's a valid claim you're making, then we'll fight that corner for you. We're there to help you. Kevin,
I want to be a bit smart here, because about self-insurance, when you self-insure,
okay. Yeah,
is that if I've got a £200, £300, £400 claim, I don't make a claim, because that will push your next year's premiums, because they're going to get that money back out of you.
Yep.
Our policies at the moment is around the £200, £100 access. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes. Some of the newer providers is about 100, 150, but mostly it's 250-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. But if I want, from my point of view, if I say, well, I don't want a £250 access, I want a £500, because I'm never going to claim anything under £500.
Yep.
Will that bring my premium down? So I can self-insure. So I put £500, £1,000 away, that if I have to do any work or there's a bit of damage, then I just claim off of my own fund, as it were.
Yes, with our new providers, it wasn't as flexible with the old policy that we had. It was kind of supposed to be, and then when we moved to our new platform that we were doing it on, it wasn't as flexible. But the new providers, we've tried and tested it. They do allow you to put your excess up if you elect to have a higher excess and self-insure yourself for an amount. Yes.
Because that makes good sense. For 10 houses.
It does, yeah. A lot of people you want to insure for the unforeseen, the disasters. A lot of landlords do that. They'll cover the small things themselves.
This is the other thing. If you know, why have £150 excess when you're not even going to do the paperwork for £150? You'll just go and do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Where as a landlord, you'll think, well, I'm not even going to claim a £300-400. Your limit might be £400. Anything over £400, I'm going to make a claim.
That's right. There is, I will add, it is an option. Okay, you can do it. Whether it drives your premium down or not is another thing. But we'll be honest with you. We'll tell you if it does, and we'll tell you what the options are.
Because it's small claims the insurance companies don't want you to do.
Yeah, that's right. Logically, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, exactly.
So can we ask the insurance companies that question? Because I think that's really important. I think it's never sold or never advised that if a landlord's got 10 houses or got a few houses, that we should be looking to self-insure that, because I don't want to get involved in the paperwork to make a £400-500 claim. I'm just not going to do it.
Absolutely. With the larger policies, then yes, absolutely, that's something that we can look into doing, and we can ask that question.
And I think we need to go back to the insurance company, because the paperwork involved, them making a claim and dealing with the member or dealing with anybody, that should be driving the price down.
And just be aware as well that when a premium, like with the new providers we've got, and we can do more basic policies, those premiums can be quite low. and it's unlikely that any kind of increase in excess on those smaller policies will have a discount. But
okay, I totally.
Yeah, but with the larger ones, yeah, you understand.
Yes.
But always ask, and we can and we'll see if it can be done. But it's certainly a discussion to be had with insurers. Yes, Nick.
Good. Is there a minimum premium?
Minimum premium. The new insurers, as far as I know, don't have a minimum premium. Now the minimum premiums go down like a certain amount. We've never seen any premiums below, sort of 100 and 130, 120. They never go below that. But as far as I know, the new companies don't have that. The other companies do have a minimum premium, but then again, they're a little bit more niche.
Yeah, I totally got that. Good. Answering all the questions correctly. And I would just like to say, Kev, who's grown a bit in the world? How impressed I've been with you, mate.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well,
I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's good.
Yeah,
I like it.
Really, really quite admired in how you've grown. Well done.
Well, thanks very much, Nick.
I'm not blowing smoke up your backside either.
I mean, I'm pleased with how as well our team has grown. Our Protect My Let as well. We've gone from strength to strength.
Yeah.
Back from when we first partnered with you, we've come on a long way, and we've got a very clear message now that we want to send out, and it's going from strength to strength. It can only get better. Good.
Any more questions that we can ask?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to put Kevin on the spot with a question that he probably doesn't want to answer. I've got a member saying that they've never bothered with insurance, but thinking about it due to COVID. Can you give me a ballpark figure for a monthly premium for income protection? Say a 2-bed flat in Bristol renting at $850 a month.
Again, the answer is no. You probably knew I was going to say that, but the answer is no. No, we need to assess the. Sorry, was this rent protection? This was about.
Yeah, it's rental income protection. Yeah.
Rental income protection. I mean, as we've got nothing available at the moment, no. When a new policy comes into force, that does take pandemic COVID situations into account when the eviction laws change again. We don't know what that price is going to be. We have an old pricing structure for the old rent guarantee before when pandemics were unimaginable, but that's not going to be of any use to you because it isn't available anymore. So the answer is no. What I will say about the pandemic and the rent guarantee thing is keep an eye on us. Keep an eye on our communications. They'll come through LMPG as well. Because when we do have something available, or when something does change, everybody will know at the same time that we do have something that will hold up. The reason we've not had something that holds up and our providers still don't want to offer something is because it will be, technically useless. They don't want to cover you for 3 months. They don't want to cover you in 6 months' time. They want something that will fully cover everything you need. And that's the reason we still haven't got it. But watch this space. When something does come on board, you will know.
That just might be the longest no I've ever heard, Kevin.
Yeah, it was.
But I would just add to that questions at that level of specificity, that the answer would always be, from my point of view, give Lola a call, whoever it is that answers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the sort of thing that you need to have a full conversation about. It's not something that can be answered off on a webinar like this.
Absolutely. And again, any members who are after kind of rough and ballpark figures, it's going to be a similar answer. We need to know all the facts, and we'll tell you if we can help you. Bottom line, we want to know what you want help with, and then we will help you with that.
You're a phone call away or an email away.
Absolutely, yeah, always. And like I said, you won't be hanging on the line for ages trying to get through to us either. We're just there. We'll answer straight away.
On emails?
On emails for new inquiries,
yeah.
We, as of late, since we've been working at home, our process has just been so much better, and we're getting back to people probably within an hour or two, I'd say.
Good.
I mean, definitely same day, other than weekends.
Well, you need to work weekends. That's when most members get home.
If we see one at a weekend, Nick, we'll get back to them. It's simple as that.
Don't you dare say that.
We're off script. If we see one,
it's going to be ringing you on fucking weekends. Trust me.
Paul Hilliard,
He loves winding people up. Look at it, down the bottom there. No. So are the two bosses going to come on and say hello to everybody?
I think they might, if you ask them very nicely.
Come on, because they're ones who put this together.
I'm
Hello,
here.
Nat.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Where's Dean?
Yeah, well, I
He's
want
here.
Dean on here as well.
Good evening, everyone.
So, Dean, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Dean Wright. I'm Divisional Director within Aston Lark, and part of my remit is Protect My Let and the amazing team that you've got.
You were brought in to make this work.
Yeah. My sole purpose in life, Nick, is to make you happy.
Yeah. I mean, we've had some rows. We've had, and I put my hands up. I got it wrong.
I think that's what a partnership is, though, Nick, isn't it? You know, you disagree with what we do. We argue that we can't quite give you what you want and what you think you need for your members. You know, that's how partnerships evolve. It is, and I would say it's like a marriage, but I've never been married. So it's, you know, it's about taking on board your comments and you know what your members are feeding to you, and being realistic. You know, we can't give everything that everyone wants, and there's different reasons for that. You know, I think at the end of the day, a lot of people forget that insurance is a business. If an insurer, you know, at the start of this, you said about them opening their floodgates and writing a lot of business. If they do that and their claims exceed the income and the premium, they're going to close the doors very quickly. And like Kev made the point there, we're in this for longevity. We're not here to make a quick buck. This is all that team do is purely let properties. And I think that goes a long way. And Kev's not lying when he says there's no answer phone messages. You know, there's none of that. It literally is direct contact. And that goes for me as well. So if anyone's got any problems, you know, you want to talk to me or you want to talk to Natalie, by all means, contact me, and because we're here to help you. And
you brought Natalie in, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Natalie.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, me and her get on quite well. She doesn't like me.
I'm trying to be really posh and polite.
Well, that's not how you sounded earlier. Yeah. And you manage the whole team, yes?
I do indeed, yes. So I've been part of Aston Lark for, well, it was my birthday last month. So 24 years I've been at the company. And I come in to Protect My Let last October. So yeah, I've had just over really a year of, you know, working with the guys, looking at what we can do just to try and, you know, improve little bits here and now. And, you know, and like Kev said, I think, you know, even in the last year since I've been part, I've seen, you know, some real good improvements, you know, and Kev saying, you know, while we are working from home, we've been able to, you know, be on the phones longer and maybe look at emails. I see someone's comment earlier, which is fantastic, that Kev emailed someone back last night around 8 o'clock. Well, pre-COVID, that probably would never have happened because no one had access to the systems at home. Right. So, you know, the guys, when Kev is saying it, they are doing it. You know, they are going above and beyond to try and reach out to the clients to the best time that is suited for them, because 9 to 5 doesn't work for everyone. And
trust me, Kevin got that person to email that question in so everybody can see it. That's why he went. He don't work.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely right. I bet you around and said, put on there, I rang you at 8 o'clock.
No, you've got to believe us, Nick.
That's what I do. Anyway, that's absolutely fantastic. And I really want the business to grow. Yeah, you've put so much hard work into looking after LMPG members. Yeah, and it really is that good from a point of view of being looked after. We can't always promise that we're going to be the cheapest in the marketplace.
No, we're not. And I think, like Kev, I think, you know, and Kev and Lola, from a new business point of view, will be upfront and honest at the outset, because everyone's time is precious. So we're not going to pretend and take, you know, 20 minutes of someone's time that it can take sometimes, you know, in a conversation, gathering that risk information, if we know actually we might not be able to help. So, you know, we've got to look at it on both sides of the fence, that, you know, we're there to try and help, but we're not going to just make someone sit there and waste their time if we know quite early on that we're not going to be able to help.
But if you look at Aviva and Allianz, yeah, and Zurich, they're the big players in the market. We must be there or thereabouts. You're not talking about one policy that I wanted, okay? You're talking about the big boys.
Nick, they've all got different appetites. So another reason for having a panel is because, you know, one postcode to one insurer will be high risk, where to another insurer where they haven't experienced claims in that area, it will be lower risk. So by having that panel approach, we feel that we are getting closer to be able to offer something that your members want. Look, if it's all about price, we'll do what we can to give you the cheapest price possible. In my experience, and I've been in insurance a long time, not quite as long as Natalie, but you know, it's
you're very close. What are you, 19, 20?
I think I'm 20 next year, but it's about, because we're selling a promise. At the end of the day, we're selling you and all of your members a promise that in the event of a claim and the unfortunate event of that happening, that you have got peace of mind that your policy will respond and you've got people there on your side protecting you. And that's what we do as a broker. That's our purpose. You know, we have a moral duty to all of our clients. You know, you're not just a number to us. That's key to us. And, you know, you can go online, you can buy it cheap. That's absolutely fine. And some of those policies are okay. But when you need it, are they there for you? And, you know, we could go into a number of different examples of where we've helped people, not just your members, but across the whole of Protect My Let. And, you know, looking at the rent indemnity situation that we're in, we could legally sell you a policy that would give you a little bit of cover. But we don't. Morally, it's not right, because you're paying an annual premium for something that you're going to be able to claim for a month, maybe 2 months maximum. So that was a decision we took morally. It's not about profit. It's about giving you the right product and the right service. Now, what I can talk to you about exclusively is what we are talking about with our rent indemnity providers is something exclusive for Protect My Let. Now, can't go into it in too much detail because we're at early stage of this, but we're hoping that we will have an exclusive offering with our provider in the coming months. That will be something of value, not just a policy that I can sell you to push premiums up.
Good. See, that's what I love about you. You're like me. You tell it how it is.
But there's no point. I mean, the insurance industry gets enough rough enough going over by the press, because there are always those situations. You know, an insurance policy unfortunately doesn't cover every eventuality. But what the press don't write about is all the good stuff that the industry does. And like Kevin says, we're so heavily regulated. We can't gross up your premium because you've given us a price and we can quote you £400 cheaper than that. You know, I'm just making these numbers up. It's one of the most regulated industries around now.
Yeah, I know it is. And they hate me, members. They hate me when I go off piece, because he goes, oh God, what's Nick said now? Oh, Nick goes, yeah. When I send a piece of paper and say, can I say that? And they go, Nick, no, you can't say that. Nick, you can't do that. So I totally understand it's regulated, but I'm not recommending a policy, so I can say what I freaking like. And that's always been my argument, yeah, that it's important to know. I wanted tonight to come over that it's that you care. You will do what you can to help a member out.
Yep.
Yeah. And when there is a problem, everybody can be up front and be on these Zoom meetings when the world is good. I want to know if when the shit hits the fan, are you going to be there supporting the member?
100%.
Definitely.
That's all I need to know.
Mm-hmm. Nick, the biggest compliment your members can give us is giving us their trust and letting us see if we can help you. Yeah. That's all we can ask. And like I say, if people have comments or they want to talk to me, I'll give you my direct line. I'll give you my mobile number. I'm open. Talk to me.
Oh, don't give me your mobile number. Trust me.
I'm not giving it to you, Nick. That's fine. Or Paul, because Paul keeps ringing me all the time anyway.
See, but our members don't believe we do this.
Trust me, they do.
Yeah, they better believe it. They do.
I don't know. I haven't rang you yet, Natalie.
No, you haven't. I'm sure you will now, though.
Oh, I will do now. Oh, trust me. I've got a third person to pester.
Lucky me.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? We're not hiding. You know, we're there. That's the point.
Yeah. When we ring up, they go, "Oh God, Nick's on the phone again." Yeah. No, I'm so impressed with tonight. Yeah, and it's such a boring subject to talk about. Who wants to do a webinar on bloody insurance?
Yeah, it's not very sexy, is it? Insurance.
It's not. It's a pain.
Mm.
Yeah. But I'm really pleased the way it's gone tonight. Have we got any more questions?
Well, I was just going to say, earlier on, Kevin, you mentioned what insurance products do members want, and you've said that to me before this webinar, that's you were looking to get some feedback on that sort of thing. So
that's right.
The members that haven't put something in the chat today, or they're watching on Facebook, or they're watching a recording of this sometime in the distant future, what is the best way for them to get in contact with you and feedback those ideas?
Okay, well, we were thinking of actually putting some kind of poll on Facebook, on your page, of things that people might want to see, additional products that may be able to be offered. What would people find most valuable? Otherwise, other than that, pick up the phone and speak to us, or via LMPG. Or you've got our email address there. I don't know if you've got it on a slide, Anthony, there, but our email address, our inquiries address, we're always on that. Those of you that have connected with us on Facebook as well, you can message us directly, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But any feedback, it's always welcome. And watch over the next few days for any kind of comments or any polls that do go onto Facebook. But these the phone numbers here, like I said, they're our direct ones. The inquiries at Protect My Let there, that's the email address that will come through to us. You've actually got as well on your website, LMPG members have their own mailbox that comes directly to me and Lola, in addition to going to that mailbox. So send it through to that one. You can get that on the LMPG site in the members section, but that is the same as that except LMPG. So LMPG inquiries at protectmylet.com.
Yeah, and yes. I think absolutely. I think what you've done, and we're going to start to push now our members to give you a call. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we haven't done that for a long time because I wanted this panel to be put together for us, and you've done that. And I know it's taken a little bit longer than we want to. So, in the not pecking order, but you need to be up there in helping members out, because I think members would really benefit from your services, and I really do. And we'll start pushing that and telling members to give you a call, because
that's all right.
Yeah, I don't get this type of service from other places where I've gone. No, and I really haven't. So we'll push that on service. I think it's been absolutely fantastic today, and I've been so excited to name Allianz, Aviva, and Zurich.
They're big names. They're big players.
They are the major players in the insurance
trusted
industry. So from our point of view, we've got them. Brilliant. Let's push that and saying we're here to support members. And with the team behind you, oh yeah, I'm over the moon now.
Great. Glad to hear it.
Paul Hilliard, would you like to say anything?
Hello.
Hello, Paul.
I proposed stuff earlier just to say thank you for you and the team for the claim I did. I had to make earlier this year.
Yep.
This was water damage on one of my HMOs. So
great.
Excellent service and got paid in full. So happy days.
Great.
Thank you.
I'm glad you found the service well. Like I said, I think you come through to me, didn't you? Told me what had happened, and we took it from there. It's just an example of what we can do.
Yeah, one member's just said, do you do a block of flats? Dean's already gone. Dean's quicker than freaking me talking. He's typing quicker than I can make a suggestion. I was going to ask you, do you do blocks of flats? And I've just got the answer from Dean being typed across my screen. Yes, we do. Give us a call.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
I think the thing to add to that, Nick, if we can't do it under the Protect My Let brand, within as part of Aston Lark, we're one of the biggest independent brokers in the UK. So we will find a facility.
Okay. I'm having a move with that. I didn't even know that. No, good, brilliant. As this grows, and it will do, yeah, are we going to be adding other services on down the insurance line?
Yes, we hope so. I'll go over to Dean for that, I think, because Dean has been. That's all right. Dean's been talking to a few more providers than I have.
Nothing like preparation, Nick. Yes.
Sorry,
so,
I've come off script now.
No, that's fine, Nick. So, look, what we're looking to do, obviously, is try and simplify anything that a landlord may need. So, what we're in investigation at the moment, and this really is investigation stages, is we want to find a facility that will offer you boiler service, gas certificate, electrical certificate, a storage place for that, one price to pay with a common reminder of when that's going to be done, and having that facility on a UK-wide network. So it's not your bulk standard insurance policy. We're looking into things like home emergency, which will cover you for emergency plumbers, emergency electricians, that kind of thing. So there's lots in the pipeline, but like Kevin said, look, we plan to run a few polls because it's okay us coming up with these ideas, but if it's something you don't want, it's irrelevant. So we'd like your guys and your members to tell us what they want from us, and we'll work with you to build whatever you need, really.
And Dean, this is right off spec. One of the things is that when I do presentations around the country, I used to ask this question, is about doing life cover. Yeah, and it's all to do with like the premium against commission. I'm going to open it right up. Is there any way where you could maybe do something at some really extremely good rates with these insurance companies?
Yeah, we can certainly explore it, Nick. When it comes to life, it's about mass. So the more people we can get that potentially would subscribe, would help with the premium. It's kind of some fixed rate pricing that you're after there, which is difficult in the life world because we all know everyone's life's slightly different. We've got access now. If people buy private medical insurance, got access to that. We can open that up to you guys. Like I say, being part of Aston Lark and the Aston Lark family, I can't think of anything that we don't really do, and that's not underselling it at all. We are a big broker. Like I say, we're one of the biggest independent brokers in the UK. I can't remember the count of staff. I think we're just over 1,000 now. So we've got access to virtually anything that your members may need, whether that's to do with let properties or anything else. Just ask the question, and because like I say, this ethos is inbred in our business. It's not just for you guys. We do go the extra mile for you guys, but
yeah, I know you do. But it's
all about service.
A lot of people want life cover, but they don't want to pay the high premiums. Yeah.
It's like any insurance, Nick. We all want insurance, but we don't want to pay high premiums. And I'm in that camp as well. I have to buy insurance.
Yeah, but don't forget, I had 14 offices down south. We had 14 outlets. We were selling insurance and mortgages. That's what moved me into the being a landlord, was that I got out of the building industry for a few years and then did that. And yeah, it was really successful. It was about premiums, about commissions, and if we got rid of some of that, then the premiums will be lower, and that's what I'll be looking to do. And when I've asked questions to members about would you buy life cover, they said, yeah, I don't want to be paying that premium, because most people have got mortgages, and they've built up, and if anything happened to that individual and they've left it to the kids, and suddenly they've got to deal with all that, with the grief of loss of the person that runs the business.
The question we'll ask at the start of that, Nick, is can we add value? So we're not just going to start offering it without being able to add you any value, because you might as well go online and buy it cheap. Because, if we can't add value, there's no real benefit in using us. And that's not what using a broker is about.
No, good. No, a lot of things happening. Really exciting. So I'm finished. I'm done. You blew me away today, Kevin. How impressed I've been with you today, mate.
Great, very pleased. Yeah, it's been nice to chat to you all as well, and reach out to your members on a wide scale with the same message. So yeah, thanks again.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
One cover that.
Sorry?
Bye, Nick. One cover that I think I've asked about before, which don't know, I can't remember where it went, but it was the rent-to-rent sector. So in other words, the landlord is renting off another landlord to sublet to HMO usually, or service accommodation or whatever. 9 times out of 10, I think the response is the current owner should insure the building, but is there any insurance you can provide the landlord to cover himself if anything goes wrong?
Yes, we do. Yeah, yeah, we provide that all the time. We've done that for quite a lot of your members as well. So yes.
The reason the first answer, Paul, is your insurable interest. If you own the building, that's generally where your insurable interest is. But obviously you've got liability issues and some contents possibly. So like Kevin said, we can do it. Yeah.
Oh, good. So just another question come up. Is it 2, 3 or more questions come up, Anthony? Oh, thanking everybody. Be in touch. One person said, I'll get a quote. Next one comes up. Kevin, you're going to get a phone call.
Yeah, Kev, I've got a couple of phone calls for you to make Monday. So I've been frantically trying to answer them.
That's great. No, yeah, absolutely. We'll get round to everyone who comments. Obviously, any comments that come up after, or anybody who watches this in the future, leave a comment and we'll keep an eye on it, or send us a direct message as well, or call our direct numbers.
Yeah. No, good. Is Lola on today?
Lola is listening. She's watching the Facebook video. So
can she come back and say hello to everybody?
She might not be able to if she's not on the Zoom.
No,
but
On Facebook.
Nick,
Yeah,
you've actually got the
Facebook.
whole team. So literally Lola, Will, Nick, Matt, they're all watching.
They're listening
on
and
Facebook
watching
right now.
Look, I will say to Lola, she's watching. Looks like we're going to have a busy time coming up, judging by the comments. So yeah, gear up.
No, and I'd just like to say hi to the team. Yes, and welcome aboard. And I can't wait to get going properly on this, so we can officially launch that. They're now our insurance through you. Provided.
Fantastic, Nick.
Go
Anthony, someone's just asked for the contact numbers again. Oh, you're doing it perfect.
Dean.
He's got it. There you go.
Yeah, so this is on Facebook as well, as everyone mentioned, and we also put the recording on the LMPG webinar library, which will be up hopefully by the end of tomorrow, along with a blog of some of the key things we learned as well. So if you need to go back to anything that we've mentioned here, then it's there in all of its permanence on the LMPG webinar tomorrow.
And when we're done, I'll come up and we'll have lunch together. I'll come down to London. Yeah, see you all.
When we're allowed out, Nick.
Yeah, when we're allowed to.
Yeah, is Natalie in Essex? Because she can stay there.
No comment. You love it, really.
I do. You just make me laugh, Natalie. Oh, dear me. Oh, God. Makes me laugh. Anyway, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. Yeah. So before we go, who's next week?
Also, cylinders.
Oh, yes. Cylinders. Because there's been a big discussion on cylinders. So please. And who else we got on?
Also, cylinders.
Is that all?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's half term. Everyone was like, "No, we don't want to join them." So we've got the full webinar on our latest partner, whom we only met 2 weeks ago, I think it was, which are these pre-plumbed cylinders for system boilers and the like. But yeah, he came in, he had a discussion with myself and Nick, and we were really, really impressed. So we wanted to get him booked in as soon.
And that was also down to Johnny as well. So Johnny put him in touch with us and said, I think it's a good conversation. And they will be contract supported as well.
Of course.
Okay. At our pricing. So, yeah. And then we got the week after. We've got
Wolseley are on, talking about their online processes, and we've also as well.
But it's about the online process of you being able to buy products. And I learned something today. when you go online, you'll know whether your online account has been set up correctly. There's a little flag. I learned that today.
I didn't know that myself.
No, I didn't. They put it there, and that will be ready to go when we do our live webinar. I'm in a real buzzy mood, so I need to get off because otherwise I'm going to be on all night. Yeah. So I'll just say good night to everybody. Thank you so much for listening to me and listening to Protect My Let. I could have called you the other name. I've got it written down in big letters.
That's fine.
Protect My Let. Yeah, it's been a real pleasure, and thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Yeah, same. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having us, Nick.
Thank you.